Thank you.
You got it?
So, yes, you can put it down.
Okay.
This is the first picture of Mariam Hashemi,
That's right.
whom I am interviewing for information about 11 pictures that she sent me. I don't know, pictures is not quite the right word.
Paintings?
11
Images
paintings
of
she
the
sent
painting.
me. And we're going to talk about them and see how she comes about doing it. Okay, you can put it down.
Okay.
And we'll... So,
Let me just do this. All right.
tell me about that picture. When did you paint it?
This was painted in 2009, and I did some changes on it in 2012. So sometimes my works are like that. Sometimes they're to be continued. so they start with something, but then I get extra elements and characters added to them. And this was when I did those on my boyfriend's boat, and it was a whole series that I was working for an exhibition that I was doing in Edinburgh. So obviously because I was on a boat, and those days I was very connected to the canals as well as these days, but it was all very fresh and new to me. So I was using a lot of boat scenes and a lot of boat culture, because I was working at the Canal Museum at the time as well, and I was one of the trustees. So canal was really part of my life, especially the whole traditional side of boat culture, which you get. That's why you have the roses and castles and the kind of sign writing that you get on the boat, and the kind of how do you call them? The window cover, the crochets that you find in many traditional looking boats. That's why I added those elements, because I was very much around this type of boats and this type of culture, and but I always like to have my my own little characters that are not necessarily connected to this world. I like to add them. Like the penguins on top of the boat, and the guy who is dressed up. The reason that I've got the guy dressed up, because we did lots of canal trips during the Halloween, and everybody dressed up during the Halloween. So this was a kind of a little costume reminder of, sometimes people have a lot of dress up theme on the boats and have a lot of fun like that. The kind of reminder of that that type of atmosphere, and then. The gasometer at the background is one of the I really love gasometers, although like they're fading and they're kind of like, you can't, I don't know whether you can find any in London now that is actually functioning, because they take it down and dismantle them. They're really beautiful, and they're fascinating structures. That's why I've got that. And there is one in West London. It's near Notting Hill, if I'm not mistaken. I've got my names all wrong these days, but there is a gasometer there, and it's kind of reminder of that area of the Grand Union Canal, but then you have other elements like my Islamic friends, like the ladies in the boat below with the signs. Those guys came in 2012. And the reason they came, that was just that was basically just a boat that was just without anything in it, which was a bit odd, because I always felt that was too empty. So in 2002 I decided to add the characters, and I thought like, oh, that's why I left that empty, because these guys had to arrive. So, and there is another lady in the bottom right who's wearing like a headgear, as if she's working in a kind of a call center of some kind. But that was actually a cyclist guy, and then somehow I decided to turn her into a Muslim lady. I don't know, I thought like it would look better. He had a bit of gender change, I think. Decided to convert to Islam, and there we have him. So he had dreadlocks. and he had a phone, like he had a mobile phone, and then he turned into somebody from a call center. So I don't
From
know.
a call center?
Yeah, as if he's working for a call center, as if he's like customer service somewhere. I don't know. It just seems like,
I
or
see.
maybe he's a spy. Who knows? Maybe he's still a he, just pretending to be a lady. Who knows?
You have, I've seen paintings of yours with Muslim ladies, as you put
Yes,
it. They're
yes.
a favourite theme of yours, yes?
I really love them. Well, because I come from Iran and I have that connection, that background of growing up in school, and all the school faculty look like these guys. So they had the school uniform. I don't know what school faculty these days look like, but during my time, they basically wore a very similar uniform to ours, which was basically long overalls. We usually had them in navy, but the difference was that these guys would wear different colors, wouldn't just wear navy color, and they always had the chador on top. And so they remind me of my school teachers, but somehow they're cute. They weren't very cute back then. And then I'm kind of as if I've made peace with them. I don't know. I'm kind of I'm still trying to understand them. I still don't fully understand these characters, but I really love them. And the reason I put them on this painting was because I started putting them on. For example, I would buy prints from charity shop, or the quite decorative prints, and then add these characters in places that they didn't belong, like kind of British countryside, or kind of very classic, very European background, and then place them. They were like really classic paintings, prints, and then I would add them there because of the contrast. I really liked it, and they would be really tiny, like fairies. And then I thought, oh, that was fun, really doing that. So I started putting it on my own paintings. Anywhere that they weren't there, I thought it would be funny to have them. And in many places, they kind of look really in place. Like here, I think they work really well because they're doing boating, and they have a sign that you would find that these guys would demonstrate in a street in Iran, and a similar type would have a sign saying, for example, "Death to America," or basically like the slogans that, depending on the event. And they're doing the same here. So in Farsi, it says, it's really fun being on the boat, and there's nothing that America can't do anything about it.
Okay, so let me explain that you are perhaps in need of special circumstances now. You need to sell some paintings, maybe for lack of space, and this is one of the paintings you're hoping to sell.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes,
And
yes.
I believe that you are at the moment giving it the specially reduced price of £200,
That's
right?
right, yes.
So let's move on to another painting. And okay, there it is. This other painting. What do you call this one, Mariam?
And the Ringmaster.
The Ringmaster.
Oh, sorry, the Ringmaker. You see, my titles change a lot. So, yeah, there was an occasion that I called this a Ringmaster, and I thought, nah, she's not a master, she's more of a Ringmaker. And I don't quite. It's a small one, this one, and it's ink on paper, and it's a sort of thing. I would say there is a certain type of female that I regularly draw, and they have certain things in common, like the type of hair and the way their breasts are, which is very unusual usually in terms of anatomy. They're very strange. They're too high up. The anatomy is basically not correct at all. But for some reason, I have this type, and not always, I have this type of female that I draw a lot. I don't know why. And I think it somehow connects to maybe a link to Saturn because of the whole ring, or maybe it's a kind of engagement, or maybe it's like a marriage. Whatever it is, I think it's a positive word. But she has her hands at the back, as if that she's kind of creating the ring. So I guess that's what I call it.
So when was this finished?
This was, I didn't put the year. This is 2015, I think. Yes.
How long does it take you to do something like this?
This one actually doesn't take very long. But also I've done it in different stages because it's quite small and it's a sort of thing I do sometimes when I'm in a train or, if I have to wait, I've got a little pad sometimes with me when I'm in the mood and do little drawings. I never sketch anything. I just do a finished work. So this was one of the things that I had around.
Okay. So this one, as I say, is for sale too, and I understand that it was £30, and now Mariam will let it go for £20.
That's right.
So let's go to the next one.
Price of 20.
Oops. Okay. So, what is this called?
Space fishes.
Space dishes.
Space fishes. Or
Fishes.
if you like, you can call it dishes. They could be a dish. Who knows?
You call it, not me.
No, but titles can be optional. They can change. I'm not attached to them. This is from the series I did with my boyfriend, Ian, and he does the backgrounds. And this is one thing that we can collaborate really well, usually, without being upset. He does a background, and I find the images within the pattern that he's created. And I find it so much fun working with him like that. So he sprayed the background with airbrush and with ink. And then he did that in 2013 and I finished it in 2016. I've kind of like added the details in 2016. There was a big gap between it. But it's one of those things that I meant to finish and I had forgotten about it and it was in my pad and I found, I was like, oh, I can finish this work. I rarely do that. I generally just finish something in one go. So this is, I think it has a very non-earthly feel to it. That's why I called it. And there are definitely creatures like fishes in there, but they're quite weird fishes. So I guess that's why I thought, they're space fishes. And the colors are a bit out of this planet slightly. So I quite like it because it's very unusual. Every time I do anything with Ian, every time he does a background, it just looks very unusual in terms of color and what comes out of it. It's very different to what I do myself on my own. So I really enjoy collaborating with him. The results are always
When
surprising.
was this done?
Well, I finished it in 2016. This year, yeah.
Closest to it.
Yes.
Okay. So this one now is going for £50. £50 only.
Only £50.
So, oops, what's going on here? The color here is totally different from the
Yeah,
real
because
colour.
it's not in color, so it's that's why it is.
Okay, so maybe this way round might be better. Is it better?
I suppose.
Oh God. Okay, we are back online.
Yay.
And Mariam, you're going to talk about this, what is it called?
The mermaid ancestor.
The mermaid ancestor.
Yes. Because it kind of looks like me, and it's obviously mermaid, so maybe one of my ancestors is a mermaid. Who knows?
So this is your
One of my ancestors.
reading of yourself, that you were a mermaid in a previous life.
Not me, but maybe in a very far away past, an ancestor was a mermaid. That's why it looks like me a bit. Perhaps. I don't think I was a mermaid in a past life. I was usually a man. All my past lives I've seen, it's just been I've been a guy. It explains so much.
But still, you felt some bonding with this.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, it's an aspect of me. I have a mermaid aspect, of course. I love mermaids so much. And this was actually, I haven't done a sketch type work for a long while. So this was actually really exciting. And this is 2016. And it's quite big, actually. The size is 75 to 60 centimeters. So it's quite large. And I did it just outside my studio in the corridor on the floor, and it felt great because I hadn't used charcoal and kind of chalk material and pastels, and this is a mixture of those, and I hadn't done it since I was in uni, So it was very nice to do work like that on a brown paper. I missed it. I really missed it, because everything I do is either watercolor or it's acrylic on canvas. So I haven't really done this kind of drawing type like this for a while. So I really enjoyed that. And I don't know. She's got two very cute fishes, and it's I think it's a very loving kind of image. Yeah, I love mermaids, so I think they're always really positive, and I don't know, it's perhaps because of the way I am. Like, I find myself, especially recently, living on a boat a lot, and now officially being on the boat. So I think that's kind of like me. It's like half of me on land, half is in water. So I think the mermaid symbolism kind of connects to me in a way.
Good. Well, this one is going for £70. Isn't that nice?
It is nice. It's quite big.
So the next one. You see it all? Yes. Now, what do you call this one?
They're watching from the stars.
Watching from the stars.
Yes.
Wow.
This one is again one of the is a collaboration with Ian, and he's done the bag, which I forgot to mention here. Actually, I must edit and add his name. He'd be very upset otherwise. And he's on the background, and again, I've done the ink work, finding all the images within his patterns, and it has. I really feel it kind of feels like, again, planets, stars, kind of intergalactical type of imagery. I guess you find the dog in there. And
sorry, point out the dog to me. I'm short-sighted. Where is the dog?
There is a dog in here. There's a dog in there.
Okay.
And then there's a fish, of course. And this is, I think, an Asian person. And there's like, I don't know. For me, there's like, again, there's like a ring of Saturn in there somewhere, and it's just, yeah, it's quite surreal. I guess you could see so many things in there that aren't there also. But this is also very Egyptian looking. So I don't know. Like, I thought that it has that kind of a theme, that it could be kind of star symbolisms in there, slightly mythological. And they are watching us.
They are watching us.
They are. They always are. We're very entertaining, I think. On this
When did you make this one?
This is 2013.
2013. And this one is now £90. Think of it. £90 for this one.
It's A3 size. It's quite big.
A3 size. Wow. This is an interesting one.
Yes, the image quality is not the best. So that's why you get a small, because it's ocean. So you get small size.
Yes. And what are you calling this one?
Sisters of Rhythm.
Rhythm.
Yes. So these guys again are the images, the ladies from my childhood, the school faculty and other. They are in Islamic cover, and they used to be, especially during the war, you get a lot of people wearing bandanas when there was a demonstration, and in these bandanas it said things like, "Oh, we're gonna win the war," or "Death to America," and things like slogans. You know.
The war means the
Iran and Iraq war. Or you say La ilaha illallah. So it would basically be like a lot of messages, usually connected to the war, and it would be always in red to symbolize the blood of martyrs and all of that. So these guys are wearing similar things, similar bandanas. And if you look, and if you can't read, of course it is in Farsi. So for somebody that doesn't read Farsi, they may think it is the same things, the same war-related slogans that they were using in demonstrations. But what they're saying, one of them says Lilai Lai, the other one says Ninai Nai, and one of them says Oof. So
Oof?
Oof. So if you're going to make a music, you could use Ninai Nai, Lilai Lai, Oof. So they're basically creating this kind of rhythm.
Aha, system of rhythm.
That's why, and I think there could be a whole series of them saying, I don't know, Ninash Nash or Didi Ram Ram and different kind of rhythms, and they can create a song. So basically, like the war is over, but these guys are still pretty much, I think, connected to the whole symbolism. So obviously, they're just creating a rhythm. So it's kind of positive, I guess. And of course, one of them is a nose job, and again, they don't look like as if they're on this planet. They're a little outside. The landscape looks weird. There seemed to be a UFO in their background and some strange screen. So, as if there's a technology around there, it's not really earthly, or maybe it's in the future. Who knows? But yeah, I like. It's one of my favorite works, actually. I really like it.
That's good. Well, because of that, of course, the price is higher. The price now has gone down to £350. £350. Show it to you properly. Yes, £350. Boom, to the next one.
There's another mermaid.
Another mermaid.
And it's called the mermaid.
And it's called the mermaid.
Yes, it might be called something else.
This one is very cheap now. It's going for £20.
It's very small as well.
Is it in just ordinary black and white colours?
This is pencils, yes. This is polychrome pencils.
Polychrome pencil.
And it's on a, it's 20 centimeters a square, and it's unframed. And it's one of my mermaids, basically. I can't say that much about her, but she has a bit of, she's got a bit of flower with roots. So it seems that she's going to plant it somewhere. So she's going to definitely plant for that flower. She didn't just cut the flower, it's basically come from the root, but it's going to be repotted somewhere.
Wonderful.
It's just before I fully move to the boat, so maybe it means that. Maybe it's just about me settling in a new place. But I'm taking my flowers with me, which I have done actually. I brought my cuttings for my favorite flowers. So it's basically
okay. Let's move on then. The next one. This looks slightly more mysterious. What are you calling this one?
Arriving home.
Arriving home. And where is home?
Well, this is about death actually. It's about dying. And it's a very colourful work for something that is about dying. I painted this when my boyfriend's mother was passing away in hospital, and she had cancer, and it was obvious that she was passing away. So it was the last days, and it was quite difficult, and she was breathing hard and heavy, and we were there as much as we could, and we could actually stay over, which was great, and just be around her. So I was painting this while we were going through this, which was really odd because the colors are quite vibrant, but it was a very interesting experience because everything felt very colorful. It was a difficult moment, but at the same time, life was very, very sparkly, and everything was just so beautiful as well. So it was, and it took me actually a year to actually realize what it is. But basically, this is us viewing her passing, and she is actually there as a fish, as a dying fish in the fish tank, and she, as you can see, she's quite dark colored, and you can see that she's not, the fish is dying. But at the same time, there is a path in front of the fish that leads to a little house. I know, like these little houses that you get in the aquariums. You got these little cute castles that you place inside the aquarium. So it's one of those, but the fish is slowly making its way, and it's on the golden path and is arriving to her destination. So this is her, passing, but arriving home. So
yes.
But it took me actually. It wasn't very clear what I was doing. It was completely from subconscious, and but again, my Muslim characters are there. See, they're even watching.
Yes, I see them there.
So they're everywhere. At some point, they're interesting. They're like that aspect of me that. Yeah.
Mourners, as it were. This one is let's turn it around if it makes it any. Oops.
Are you
Doesn't make it
thinking
any
there?
better. Yes. What have I done?
No, it's good. All good.
Okay. So this one is now £350. Good bargain. So this one, Burger Bubble.
Bubbles, actually. Burger bubbles.
Buddha Burger Bubble.
I know. So
Don't quite
very,
see
very
that. Where's the burger?
The Buddha is sitting on a burger.
The Buddha's sitting on a burger.
Yes.
Ah.
The Buddha is sitting on a burger, and the bubbles are everywhere.
Oh, I see.
And he's making bubbles, and he loves his ceremonial robes. So yeah, he's wearing his usual robes. I'm wearing my yellow bikini and doing a dance while he's doing his bubbles. That's something we do sometimes. Anyway, but not on top of a bird. And I'm not quite sure about this, to be honest. And in this one, you can't see easily, but I also have my little Muslim friends at the bottom. They're kind of rolling a subtext over there. Oh, sorry. I have to move this for you to see it. There.
Sorry, where? Point on your finger.
It's right
Ah,
there.
I see. Didn't see that. Right. Okay.
So they're saying Buddha is fat and he's blue. This Buddha is fat and he's got bad breath. Why is he blue anyway? He looks like a genie. So I don't know why they're having a go at Buddha, because Buddha seem quite harmless, but they're naughty. They're having a go at him. I don't know if they're bitching about Buddha, but that's what they're doing. This is again one of it's quite mysterious, this one. I can't exactly be sure what it's about, but again, it's so many dimensions merging. There's a cityscape in the background, but I generally do a cityscape and it's quite dead, so there's like a dead city in the background, but all of this stuff is going on above and around it. So layers, I think it's a good way of showing all the things that I'm interested in. I like the spirituality. I don't really like burgers. I don't know why I put burger there. I can't say it like that. And it's very McDonald's-y, and it's just not my thing at all. I don't know why I put it there. But yeah, so it's and it's basically just I think a portray of my dimension and all the different things I'm interested in that is blended into one. But
But you don't know why a burger.
I think I have a feeling maybe having a Buddha on a burger is kind of like a franchise of spirituality, maybe a kind of thing that you might find, kind of shallow spirituality, perhaps, because it's kind of tilted as well. It doesn't seem like a very stable thing. It's a little, I don't know. I think maybe that's what I mean.
So is this kind of a satirical commentary?
It is a slightly satirical, because those guys are definitely doing the commentary. They're having a go at the Buddha. I mean, that specific Buddha, because it's a blue Buddha.
It's your blue period, actually.
It's a blue period Buddha. So, I don't know. I think it's like, it has a little feel of a comic strip to it, and at the same time, it's a little, it's, but she's also holding their glasses. It's like, I see that as if the character there this is the main focus. The character here with the glasses. I think she's like a superhero girl. You see, like she's got the veil. I'm sorry, she's got cloak, and it's kind of in the air, and she seems to be ready for something. She's ready for a journey.
Ready for something.
Yeah, and she's got those glasses on, as if she's ready to see things with a different eye. And there's a lot going on, and I think with the stuff going on in my life at the time, and a lot of changes that was happening, and I think it's basically representing me and all the things I'm going to see with fresh eyes and everything that I'm going to revisit. Probably it's kind of connects to me in that sense. Now that I look back, I kind of can understand the symbolism better, because again, this is straight out of my subconscious, and I'm still analyzing the messages.
Okay, sounds good. So this one sounds a bargain for £300.
Yeah, the Stripe. This is the Stripe, and this one is sold already. This is one of the first ones that's sold. And they were actually done around the same time, this and the previous Buddha. And I I think they have a lot in common in terms of having the city. This is the background of hers in a car park with all the signs that you might find in a city with all the signage in the background, and the kind of clutter and the madness. But she's blossoming and growing regardless where she is, and she's again on top of a cityscape type place, but she's growing and she's blossoming regardless.
Okay.
Being a concrete place.
Since you've sold it, we won't talk about the price and any further interpretation. We'll move on. Aha. Well, let me explain, folks. This is the one that was intended for me.
Absolutely, all these years.
So
she was waiting for you, sir.
This has gone to my presence now, and perhaps you can explain a little bit about it.
There.
All right.
There she is.
I'll go up to the painting
She's
itself.
very, very happy to be here, and look, she looks amazing on the back.
Resting on my
against
shelf.
that beautiful background color.
Okay, now explain something about it, please.
This one has two names. One of them is Our Savior is Here, and the other one was made Waiting for Messiah. It seems like the scene again is completely out of my subconscious. I didn't have any kind of intention to do anything specific. I think the series of work that just appeared very automatically in a way. And she's is clearly some kind of a celebration. It seems to be in a village of some sort with a brass band playing in the background. There's definitely food carts around, which reminds me of the food carts that we have in Iran, in the bazaars. So again, it has that Iranian connection. She's dressed up, with obviously some cookies, and obviously somebody's arriving, somebody very important, and everybody seems to be celebrating. And the hill on the background is quite interesting. The house on top of the hill, and it has a really strange perspective. And the strange cat. I find it quite weird, and I don't generally draw things like that. It reminds me of the animations I loved to watch when I was a kid. This kind of hill with things rolling around, and the background sky with the flying narrowboats. Again, this was one of the paintings that I did on my boyfriend's boat, on Ian's boat. So the narrowboat that is flying very much is like his narrowboat at the time. So it was kind of like a off-white greyish color, but which is similar to his narrowboat in a way. And but there are mysterious details on there which I still don't know. There's a hook hanging from the clouds. I don't know exactly what it means. Somebody's fishing. And there is a kind of a giant standing on the side, which you can, if you move the painting on the side, you can see more details, because it's like a box canvas, so it's a wraparound with more details around it, so it's not visible in the image. So there is a giant standing there, and there's also a disc in the sky, which is the place where you would put the sun, but it's like a screwed on disc with bolts on. So again, it could be maybe breaking the illusion that that's a sky. Maybe it's just suddenly turned into a set, or a flat background that something is screwed on, or maybe it's some kind of a flying disc, mysterious flying disc. And so there's all these questions which I still haven't managed to answer. But it's ongoing. I might find an answer to a lot of these questions, but that's why I kind of entertained by my own work. Just I have no idea what's going on.
And what made you think, though, of the word Savior or Messiah, whichever?
I don't know. It kind of feels like as if this village were waiting for a arrival of somebody, and it kind of it feels.
Is there the
idea of the Savior and the Messiah? But every culture's got that Savior and Messiah.
And do the Iranians think about that these days?
Yes. These days, I think always is part of the culture, of course, to believe.
But it's not so that, a way of organization now of the country, which is very much with an imam being in control. But this is not the Messiah imam, is it?
Well, the system is that you have an imam at the moment to kind of be the leader, but of course there is a 12th imam which will arrive when the time comes. So,
when the time comes, I see.
So this is part of the belief, the Shia kind of belief
Okay.
system.
So we will move on from there, and I'll have time to work out my own meanings.
And of course, everything is open to interpretation.
So what is this called?
Cruise away.
Cruise?
Cruise away. Like cruise on a canal.
Oh, of course.
Cruise away. And this is quite big actually. It's one of my kind of big works. And I did it and this was done in so many different places. I started in an office type building that I was using for a temporary studio, and it didn't work out. I wasn't inspired there, so I moved and I finished it. Most of it actually in the street by the canal in Paddington. I finished most of it there while a dog is watching me. I'm very curious about it.
Mm.
And then I did the final bit at the Canal Museum. So this was actually on the move with me, and so this was couldn't finish. It was a traveling painting while it was being painted, and it's all about traveling and about moving. So it was funny that I finished it in movements, and it represents different dimensions that you find in London. You have the canal dimension, and you have the city, and this is sort of thing that you might find when you're around Camden a lot. So it doesn't specifically portray a certain part of London specifically, but it reminds you of Camden, the way the bridges around Camden look like, and the busyness of the city, for example, around City Road or the high streets in Camden, the Chalk Farm Road, that you see all the traffic going over the canal, and then you have the peace on the canal. So there's like this contrast. I'm trying to show the contrast between these two dimensions. Actually, more than two. This is that, and then I've got the song. I have like a moving a grey moving show. See, the whole thing is about moving. Even the show in there is moving, which is again, it's one of those things that popped up. Maybe it's inspired by the theatre groups that work on the canal at the time. For example, Micron Theatre, or there was like a theatre, the puppet theatre barge that was in Paddington. And I think it's kind of inspired by that, shows that you could see on water. But of course, this show that is this theatre is half of it is on land and half of it is in the canal. And this is still me not being quite on the canal when I painted this in 2011. I wasn't fully on the boat yet, but I was very, very in love with the whole world, canal world. So I'm obviously not fully there, but I'm finding a good escape from the crazy, chaotic city. And I'm there steering a boat, and this is the boat, the Tarpoli, that I trained on to crew and to steer boats, which was actually quite difficult because it's a very old boat and not very easy to handle. So that was that's basically the detail of that boat. And of course, I've got my little ladies, the Muslim friends, sunbathing on my head.
And the size of this one is, what did you say? It's a large
76 to 1 meter. 76
centimeters to 1 meter.
76 centimeters to 1 meter.
And because of that, the price has gone down from 1,200. It is now £900. What a bargain. Okay. Oops. Aha. You said this is your favorite one.
Well, I have many favorite ones, but this was the one that I did not want to sell. It's called The Ring.
The Ring.
I didn't want to sell it, but for a long while it was in my kitchen in the house I lived, and I never thought I would sell it. Now I think maybe I'm ready to let go. Let's hold on to this work anymore. And this is about me detaching from so many things. And I think maybe I've done a lot of detachment. Maybe the work about detachment can move on as well. There is a knife next to me. I'm sitting, I'm having some tea, and I'm burning away the things I want out of my life. And which there is a little piece of paper that says tears, pain, fear, sorrow, things like that, and I'm burning them away because I don't want those things in my life anymore. And I've got a knife next to me, which is again about cutting ties and cutting away anything that no longer.
Let's see if that works. What's going on?
What
It's
happened?
stopped. How can it have stopped?
I
It's
don't know.
paused. Okay.
Well, I'm frozen there.
I know. So now it's stopped.
Maybe come out of it and go back in